Okay, so last time we talked about you were reading Mahasi and talking about noting, and I wanted to make sure that you understood that the noting was not a hard or loud noting, but a very soft noting, because as things begin to happen, if we spend mental energy in doing the noting, then we're missing out on what's happening while we're saying whatever it is that we're noting. And so, um, uh, possibly a better word than noting is noticing. But the concept has been there uh, all along. But the Buddha uses the word investigation. And the word investigation has more of the quality of looking than it has to do with reporting. Just like the word witness, there's two kinds of witness: that the witness who saw it, and the witness who is on the witness stand telling about what he saw. And so I want to make sure that the noting that you're doing is not the telling about it on the stand, but the actual seeing of what's actually happening. So now that we're doing that little review, tell me what your practice has been like since you called.
Yeah, well, the way I interpret what you told me is just pretty much just being present, just noticing. I haven't really been doing the noting as much. I've still been doing a little bit of noting, more in terms when quote unquote a bad feeling comes up. I'll just note like impermanent or going away. But apart from that, just noticing, just trying to be present as much as I can.
All right, that sounds good. So are you satisfied with that?
Yeah, not really.
All right, tell me. I can read your dissatisfaction in it. That's why I ask you.
Right. Uh, just not really sure where it's going eventually. If it's just noticing, it just feels pretty neutral. But I don't know if I should be expecting anything more than that.
Well, th- you're going to get out of it what you put into it. And so uh, we need to take another way of looking at things. I think that I've talked to you about the four first elements of the Eightfold Path, the Eightfold Noble Path, which starts with right sati, has right view, so that we know what to do, and then we have to take the right effort in order to do it. And then that gives us the right attitude, which is the attitude of success and the attitude of being a winner, which I don't see coming with you. You're still expecting something out of it. All right. And so that's kind of the victim's position of expecting something out of it rather than what can I put into this. All right. So what you're going to get out of it is what you put into it. And in this case, we're going to be looking for the immediate benefits rather than what we get out of it, say 5 years from now. I sit today for 4 hours, and because of that, I get 5 minutes of enlightenment 5 years from now. That's not the way. I'm glad that you recognize it, but that's the way people think. That's the way. That's the internal thought. And when we talk about it like that, it does sound ridiculous. Which is because that's the way that society is built. Society is built on the promise of you do the right thing and you will get the right result. And the Buddha wants to make sure that, oh no, you get your results right now, because who knows what the future is going to bring. And so it's surprising that all of the Buddhism that has come to the West, I guess mostly in the form of the Buddhist religion, doesn't mention joy very much. And yet, in the suttas, joy is the most important part of it, to actually be able to enjoy your meditation. That's step number 10 of Anapanasati, gladdening the mind, brightening the mind, feeling good about what you're doing, seeing it as a win rather than a loss.
Right.
And we've talked about this before, but I don't think that it's quite gotten into you yet.
Yeah, no.
Pardon?
Definitely not. Yeah.
All right. Well, what I'd like to do with you today then is to do another guided meditation.
Okay,
This one
sure.
would be just for you rather than Zan, but it's going to take a bit of setting up. What I need for you to do is to move back far enough so that I see at least most of your chest area and all of your head.
Okay. Don't have a lot of space behind me. Is that good
All
enough?
right. That will be good enough. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. A little bit. In fact, you can come a little bit more forward. That'll be good. That's good. All right. Now, this guided meditation is actually the way that they do that in the West has had influences for many, many, many years from hypnosis. And that there's two kinds of hypnosis. One would be stage hypnosis, and the other one would be what is normally thought of as therapeutic hypnosis. But basically, one of the things that we know about hypnosis is that it only works on some people and some people it don't. But I think that, and the research has shown that it has more of an attitude. If people go into uh, the uh, the hypnotic induction with the idea of, oh, it's not going to work, or I'm not going to cooperate with it, or any of that kind of attitude, then it's not going to work. That people, they use the word susceptible to it, but it's not really susceptible. It has more to do with a willingness, almost as if you're willing to go on an adventure. And so that's the first thing that we have to work with. Are you actually willing to work with this and participate and take the instructions?
Yeah.
All right, great. Because in fact, the instructions are instructions for how to do the meditation. And so if you can go through these guided meditations, a few of them, then you can figure out what it is that you need to do. Now, today in this guided meditation, we're going to continue to work with step 1 of Anapanasati. But if I see any use for it, we'll go a little bit further than that. One of the things that I need to do is I need to see your breathing.
Okay.
Because one of the things I'm going to do is sync with your breathing.
Okay.
So the first thing that we need to do is to take a long, slow, deep breath.
Okay.
All right, so let's see you start to breathe. I want to see enough breathing so that I can actually see your body move as you're breathing. And as you're breathing, you want to take a long, slow, deep breath, but that you're doing it in a way that is very conscious, very controlled, and you're going to start slowing it down. You also want to start paying attention to three parts of it: the breathing in, the breathing out, and then the space between the out breath and the next in breath. And there may be also a small gap between the in breath and the beginning of the out breath. So we want to make that out breath actually after you finished out breathing, that you stop for a little while and then start to breathe in again. And as you're breathing in, you're going to breathe in long, slow, deep breaths, enough so that the body starts to move.
Okay. Been doing it. All right.
Pardon?
No, it's because I've been doing that since started talking about it. I don't know if you're noticing, but
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to see your breath, but I can't see it much in the chest, but I can see it around the shoulders, and that's good. I think it has to do with the lighting, but let's not
yeah.
mess too much with it.
Okay.
All right. So as you're breathing in and breathing out, you begin to slow the breath down. You can keep your eyes open if you like, but in a moment they'll start to close naturally on their own, and so just let that happen. And continue breathing as we're breathing in and breathing out, not paying much attention to anything else that's happening other than just watching the breath. And so now let the eyes gently close. Just relax. As you're breathing in, you begin to breathe in and feel good. And as you breathe out, you relax. Breathing in feels good, and breathing out feels relaxed and easy. And now imagine that you were standing in front of an elevator. And as the doors of the elevator open, you step in, knowing that the elevator is going to take you deep, deep down. And the power of this elevator is from the breath. So as you breathe in and breathe out, the elevator will start to move down, down. Breathing in, we move down into a peaceful state, and as we breathe out, it moves down. Breathing in feels so good and relaxed, and breathing out, moving further down, deeper. And in just a moment, the elevator doors are going to stop open as the elevator comes to a stop. And as the elevator is open, it opens into a marvelous cave, an ice cave, a cave that gleams, glittering, beautiful. And the air in here is so nice, refreshing, cool. Looking around, we see nothing but coolness and joy. It feels so safe, so comfortable. Ah, what a nice breath of air. Recognizing there's nothing to do and no place to go. We just sit here and relax with that long, deep breath. Breathing out feels so good. Everything feels so cool. And if the mind starts up again, never mind, just come back to the breath and pay attention to the breath. Keeping the breath long and slow. Just watching the breath, noticing the touch of the skin as you breathe. You can feel the body breathing because it moves. You can feel the touch of the cloth and the rise and the fall of the chest as you're breathing in and breathing out. It feels so good to just be relaxed and watching. And as you breathe in, it feels so good, so cool, very enjoyable. And as we breathe out, it drains out all of the heat and all of the tension just melt away, and we feel so good. And if the mind wanders away, never mind. We're so happy in this cave that we just come back naturally and take a long, deep breath. Feel so good, so comfortable. And as we breathe in, we feel the touch of the cloth, we feel the shirt, we feel the back. Taking a very deep breath, we can feel the shoulders rise and we can feel the whole body breathing breathing in this most delicious air. Feels so good to come back to the breath. It feels so good to be back, to watch the body. To recognize there's a whole world to be investigated right here as we just sit and breathe, enjoying the breath. Breathing in long feels so good, and so we start to let it become longer and longer. Taking in a long, slow, deep breath that fills up the entire cavity of the chest. And as we breathe out long and slow, relaxed, letting all the tension go. Throwing out all the poisons of the body, becoming pure. And if the mind starts up into other things, never mind. Happily, joyfully bring it back and start again with a long, long, deep in breath, filling the whole body. We feel safe, secure, and satisfied. Just resting here deep within, we feel secure, contented. Everything is okay. Long, slow in breath. And as we breathe out, we sigh, relax. Such a nice, wonderful place, but the mind wanders, and we gently bring it back because we like this place. We like being successful. We like being contented. We like this space where there's nothing happening but just breathing in and breathing out. Long, slow, deep breath. So nourishing. It's like breathing in joy. And as we breathe out, we relax, relax. And as we practice, we gain confidence that we know that we can do this. We know that we can keep the mind uncluttered so that we can just watch the breath, enjoy the breath. We like being in such a state, so we let the mind stay on this state to keep the mind focused, to allow the mind to become clean and clear as we just merely watch the body breathing in and out, experiencing the body, feeling so good, so comfortable, so relaxed. And then we know that we can come back to this state anytime we want to, that we become successful at meditation. And a little smile comes, smile of joy, of success. And we know no matter how obstructed the mind gets, that we can bring it back to this happy state. A mind free from hindrances, free from the past, free from worry, free from all of the struggles of life. All of the outside world is just melted away, and there's nothing but the body breathing and the mind watching happily, successfully, securely. And if the breathing gets a little shallow, never mind, we can bring it back to those long, slow, deep breaths. Knowing that we can pay attention to what the breath is doing, it keeps the mind focused. Now we take a long, long breath, long, slow, deep breath, knowing that this is about the time for us to finish the exercise. And so we're going to slowly start to think about coming back. And so we turn and step back into that elevator. And as we breathe in and breathe out, we come back up to the surface, back up to the normal world. Knowing that we can carry with us this good, happy, wholesome feeling and the knowledge that we can do this anytime we want to by paying attention to the breath. And so as the elevator arises to the top, then the doors open, and as the doors open, we can open the eyes and come back with a big smile of success. That's funny. Every time when somebody does these things, right after they come out, the next thing they do is take that deep breath.
All right.
So, tell me about it.
It's like most of my meditations go. So for the most part, I was with the breath, but there was some mind wandering in there. It's like every once in a while, oh crap, I'm thinking about something else. It just came back to the breath though.
Well, that's part of the advantage of the guided meditation is the students are brought back
Right.
to the meditation over and over again, rather than letting the mind wander.
Right. Apart from that, yeah, that was nice. It was relaxing.
Pardon?
Yeah, it was relaxing. Did
I'm
you?
sorry, I didn't understand you.
Yeah, it was relaxing.
Relaxing, yes. So you feel relaxed now?
Yeah.
Do you feel relaxed after your sitting practice?
Sometimes, but not always.
All right. We'll keep track of that. Keep track of the fact that you're beginning to enjoy your meditations more and more.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
No, nothing else is coming to mind.
All right. Will you enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you in a few days.
All right. Thank you, Dhammarato.
Yes.
All
Practice
right.
this.
All
Do
right.
this for a while.
Okay. No problem. All right. Well, bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.